Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
I don't know, my screen is frozen there. There I go. What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, the fourth and short segment. Week 10 analysis of the NFL season as we go into a lot of good games, pretty good games yesterday. And we're about to get into that. We just had not a fourth and short, but our college edition gridiron rundown. That was pretty good. And then we had to transition, move some things around, as you can see, and go to the pros. But before we start that, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the YouTube channel, share our channel. Make sure you hit us with the like so we can jack up the algorithm. Make sure you also, on the podcast side, the sound of my voice, make sure you also give us that 5-star review, 5. Plus, give us a comment, man, so we can jack up the algorithm on that. You guys have been very, very supportive on the podcast side. We thank you so much. Those guys also been supportive also on the YouTube side. So thank you very much. Let's meet the crew. The Angry One. What's good, brother? The Angry One has on his Bird Gang hat. He's back. He must have talked to Colin, and Colin must have got all the skins on the games because Colin was good yesterday. What's good, Angry Man? How are you, sir?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man? Fourth and short, Kyler. Back doing Kyler things. We'll see how long that lasts, but we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Gotcha. The hockey dude. He's got on the Steelers hat. The Steelers are 6-3. We're about to talk about them in a little bit. Go ahead, Dan. What's up, bro? How are you?
Doing good. Good to see you back, E. Good to see Kyler back on the field. D-Dub. I'm not sure what you're wearing there, but good luck to you, brother.
Yeah. Well, D-Dub will explain what he has on. Because I've been burying that bird in the last couple of weeks. Thank God he has decided to do it. Bear the burden. He's decked out in his Giants red, white, and blue. D-Dub, good afternoon. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Yes, I got the blue and red on. Yes, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. If we keep on losing, we got possibly a number one pick coming our way. Got to think about it being positive, man.
Let me. I'm not going right on your parade, dog. I ain't even going to say.
Don't worry about it.
Didn't y'all have like a top 10 pick? A couple of.
Hey.
I'm just asking.
That's hit or miss.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my bad.
We're right now. We're on officially. We're on vacation, so we good, man. We good.
Officially on vacation. Got his fishing hat and everything.
Yeah. Got a pole in the back. We chilling, bro. We good.
I'm already at the boat, man. I'll see you when you get.
No doubt, man.
Fishing for W's.
Hey, man, we ain't the only ones, man. So
yeah, true that. I don't know where DA went at. Hopefully he'll get back with us. Shout out to the producer Junior. We appreciate you, brother. Yep, this is his second show within the last probably 5 minutes that he's produced. But shout out to yo, man, I'm excited, man, because I don't have to mess with some of these buttons and all that stuff. I can freely talk to everybody, even though I'm still as I'm doing now. But anyway, hey, with that said, let's dive into fourth and short. It's fourth and short for a reason. Let's get right to it. I think the game of the day, the Cleveland Browns. Let me go to good game here. According to the AP, the Cleveland Browns have received a lot of ridicule for the massive contract they gave Deshaun Watson last year. That won't go away because of the one big game, but his second half performance against Baltimore showed why they were so desperate to acquire the star quarterback. Watson completed every pass he threw after halftime, and Cleveland made all important plays down the stretch, rallying from a 14-point fourth-quarter deficit to beat the Ravens 33-31. On Sunday, Dustin Hopkins made a 40-yard field goal in the final play to win it. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I was watching this on the red zone, and I was like, man, the Ravens, and they were saying, hey, the Ravens are the best team in football. I was like, I say, man, we are so hot takeish. it gets on my nerve, man. Just let them play. I don't think there's not a dominant team yet. That's each week there's dominant play, maybe.
It's week to week, bro.
It's week to week in this league.
Week to week.
Even with the Eagles, right? The Eagles is what? They only had one loss, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go by the numbers here. Watson was 20 of 34, 213 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Their running back Ford was phenomenal. He rushed for 107 yards on 17 attempts. Lamar Jackson was 13 of 23, 223 yards, and he keeps throwing the ball to the other squad. He had 2 on yesterday, and he had a brutal one. It was just really brutal, man. And he was the leading rusher for the team. That's part of their problem, in my opinion. But they get the win late, 33-31. With the walk-off field goal, I'll give it to D-Dub. D-Dub, your thoughts on this game?
Hey, man, at some point, we're going to start saying, I don't believe in Lamar Jackson. I think those sentiments are starting to come. People been trying to give him a chance or whatever, it always becomes, oh, you hating, man. It's like, come on, bro. I'm looking at the numbers. You looking at the game, a game where this team was up, 31-14, 17 at one point, and lost and completely lost the game. And if he's in charge, so you got to give him with the all the victories and the praise when he wins, he has to get the criticism of losing, because this is a game that they should not have lost. You know what I'm saying? So, and kudos to Deshaun Watson, because he didn't look all that great first half.
No.
Second half, he turned it around. Again, Cleveland defense has been. We've talked about them all year. They are a very, very, very good defense, and pretty much just what kept them in the game yesterday. But great win for Cleveland. Puts them at 6-3, tied with Pittsburgh for that second place spot, and it doesn't look good. I mean, Baltimore, they got to play Cincinnati this Thursday, so it's a real quick turnaround. And Cincinnati with their L that they took, so against Houston, they're gonna be looking to try to get back in the win column. So this at AFC North division, we said it in the beginning of the year that this is going to be. They all gonna beat up on each other, and it's gonna be brutal down the stretch, man. And we already looking at it, Baltimore and Cincinnati on Thursday. So again, great win by Cleveland, and a very, very bad loss by Baltimore. And in a not that they lost the game, in a manner in which they lost the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Dan, since it's your division, your thoughts on this game here?
Damn shame it didn't end in a tie. But anyway, like you could say what you want about Lamar, but like the one interception, man, the defensive lineman got in the way, hit his helmet, ended up being a pick six, which that really catapulted Cleveland to win in that game. But you can't really necessarily put it on him. He's trying to throw to an open guy. It just happens the defensive lineman gets in the way, plunks him in the head, whatever. The other one, yeah, that wasn't so great. But, this is Baltimore. The last couple years, fortunately they've had Lamar this far into the season. Usually by now he's hurt. But I think them missing, was it Dobbins? They went out at the beginning of the season. Their top running back. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of difference for them, because Mitchell, Edwards, and Hill, they really didn't do a whole lot. So guess what? You're either passing the ball or you got Lamar running. You don't want Lamar running because you don't want him hurt. But at the same time, Cleveland, like you said, they got a good defense. But, I still don't hold water and Watson. Yeah, he had a good second half, but how long is that going to last? And I think really, for me, this is more on the defense of Baltimore not being able to stop Cleveland in the second half. you got you got to help your offense because they were up 24-9 in the third quarter and lost this game.
Mm-hmm.
They scored in the fourth quarter to make it 31-17.
Yep.
And yeah, but I mean, there's 5 walk-off kicks this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, you could say what you want about the AFC in the AFC North. Yes, we're beating each other up, but we're still better than every other team in this division.
No, I say that with very much respect and adoration.
Oh no. I'm just saying, like Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami, your divisions are cupcakes.
For sure.
That's a free wins. So we'll see. Yeah,
we play what's on the schedule. You can't say that about us.
yes, I can. Because it's the same thing every year. Instead of New England being the top team in the East, guess what? It's now Miami. Buffalo, they're a fraud. Who else? I think Jacksonville needs to be scared because I think Houston's starting to figure it out.
Oh, that's the next game we're going to. Yeah, Houston. Yeah, we're about to go to that next. Dan, if you're done, let me go to E real quick before we.
You're good.
Yo, man. I think this game is more about Cleveland, more so than Baltimore. Baltimore always has these games where, as soon as somebody starts putting them up at the top of the pedestal, they fall right through the damn step and fall right back down to reality. So it is what it is. But Cleveland, in that second half, was a totally different animal. That pass rush was all over the place. They could not run the ball on Cleveland at all in that second half. And that pick six changed the whole trajectory of the game in the fourth quarter, being that it was late in the game. That just took all the air out of that stadium, them players, the coaches, and everybody. But this, I know people don't remember because this was so far back before he got on that table. Cough, cough. But Deshaun Watson was that guy. He was heading to be that guy before all that animosity started in Houston. This is what this man did in the fourth quarter. He rallied his team, and his team rallied with him to the win. So this is what Cleveland basically signed over that blank check for. Don't know if we're going to get more of this, but this is what this man was beforehand, and this is why they gave him that blank check. So shout out to Cleveland. They had balance offense. They ran the ball. They threw the ball. They had no end. It just seemed like Cooper was always open. And Njoku had this one play. I think it was 3rd and 14 or something like that down the sideline. He was just knocking Ravens all over the place to get the first down. So again, shout out to Cleveland, man. This division, you may see all 4 teams in the playoffs.
Facts.
Just saying.
That's it.
And I'm here for it.
And by the way, Kev, just real quick, the Ravens schedule in the next 7 games, they got the Bengals at the Chargers, got the Rams at Jaguars, at the Niners, home to the Dolphins, and home against Pittsburgh.
It's a hell of a fine schedule.
It's pretty
Good
tough.
luck.
It's pretty tough.
Good luck.
I'm just saying.
They might be at the bottom at the end of the day.
Just saying.
Yeah, definitely. Let me move on. DA, can you hear us? I don't know if you can.
Yeah. I'm here.
Ooh, you came in there real hot. What your thoughts on the Ravens and Browns game, real quick, before we move on?
Well, real quick, in the words of my man Dan, Toxic Dan, the whole team pissed their leg. Whole team, just right down their own leg on the field in front of everybody. Just peed on themselves, dropped the game. That's all. No more, no less. They were winning and they pissed their legs.
Lamar, was Lamar the cause of this defense?
No.
I just got to ask that question. Sorry.
No, it wasn't. People would like to say it, but he doesn't play defense. And
well, you just missed somebody that just said it, but and I'm not trying to start trouble. Am I right, D-Dub?
I'm just saying, man. I mean, we give this guy so much credit, man, but No, he doesn't play defense, but
He did throw 2 interceptions.
They did, but they did score enough points to win that game, man. Like there are certain numbers in the NFL. You score 30 points, you're not supposed to lose, man. This is not college.
Yeah.
Even if I thought, and I don't, I'm not a proponent of throwing the ball to the other team because their jerseys are different than yours. They're different colored jerseys. So you really shouldn't do it. But
this is what the Browns did. They ball control.
I give them a little props. I give them props because the Browns are a hell of a defense.
Yes.
So, you can't take that away from the fact that there's going to be interceptions because they get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They have a great defensive line. That I know from them beating the crap out of us. But at the end of the day, 30 points is enough. So, I mean, listen, anything past 30 is, it's a gift in the NFL. In my opinion, it's a gift.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next game. Man, I think it's one of the feel-good games of the CJ Stroud, Houston, Texas. Shout out to the Texans head coach. What is his name? His name is DeMarco Ryans, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
DeMarco Ryans, yeah.
DeMarco Ryans, yes. They came back and beat the Bengals 30-27 in another walk-off field goal. Let me do it by the numbers. And Stroud, he was 25 of 39, 1 TD, 1 interception, 356 yards. Singletary, they ran the ball. They ran. Singletary was 30 of 150 for 150 yards, 1 TD. And let's go by Burrows was 27-40 for 347 yards, 2 TDs, 2 critical interceptions. There was one drop ball that would have been pretty much won that game for him when Burrows threw the ball to
Boyd.
It's got to be Boyd.
Boyd.
He was in the right hand of the end zone in the back, man. The ball went right through his hands, man. It gets catched.
He's still on the bench crying, like right now, still there.
I'll give it to DA. DA, your thoughts on the Texans? Shout out to, like I said, CJ Stroud.
First off, DeMarco Ryans, ex-defensive coordinator for the Niners. You know what that is, so you can get love. Secretary Singleton, that's my boy's son out of Norfolk State. And he was with Buffalo, and they let him go, just so you know. Singleton was with them, and they let him go. So he's a real deal running back. CJ Stroud showed this last year in the semifinal game where he almost beat Georgia. I think he put 50 on them damn near last year. CJ Stroud is very serious, man. He's a very serious quarterback. Defense is good. They have good receivers. And they got that confidence right now. Like they're a very, very confident group. So I'm rocking with them. I'm rocking with them for real. So good win. And hey, in the words of Denny Green, God bless them, they crown their ass. You can't crown teams before they win. So let's not, put Cincinnati in the Super Bowl yet because they won a few games. Let history tell this story. It'll be there by the end if they are the team to beat in the AFC. You're not, but hey, let's stop crowning teams before they deserve it. That's all.
Gotcha. Thank you, DA. I'll give it to Dan. Dan, your thoughts on this game?
Well, like I was saying, like with the AFC, this is a team, like when we played them earlier in the season, I thought this was a game that the Steelers should have won or should have been favored to win and should have taken care of business. But after seeing like the last few weeks, like after we played them, this team's starting to figure it out. They run the ball. CJ thrown from him is 40 passes. That's a little high for the guy, this early in his career. You generally would like to have that number down, especially if you're running the ball that good. But, Cincinnati, they laid a stinker out the gate and then went on a little run, and now they lose another one. It's, who is the best team in the AFC? Because Kansas City really isn't dominating people. Miami, they're losing suspect games, etc. But this is the team I think I would fear later on in the season because the way they're playing and the way DeMarco's got them playing, if they make the playoffs, they could do some damage.
Gotcha. Appreciate that, Dan. D-Dub, your thoughts on this game? Like I said, CJ Stroud, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's CJ Stroud, but I want to give D'Amico Ryans the credit, man, and he needs to be given a hell of a lot of credit for having this team play the way they're playing, and shout outs to the quarterback. But they was he was not the really people was like when they hired him. They was like, D'Amico Ryans. Oh,
They didn't really
me and
want.
DA was talking about.
Yeah. They didn't want him.
No, yeah,
People's
he's
choice.
Yeah, right. He wasn't a sexy choice, but you know what? Again, here we go. You got to give people opportunity, man. That's what it should be about. And shout outs to him. Shout outs to that to the Houston Texans, man. Playing, man. Actually caring. They in it. They beat a hellified Cincinnati team that won four? I think 4 in a row. They was trying to get their self back and get their foot in. They 5-4 now. But and I mean the strange thing you find you got this young Houston Texan team and they 5-4. So 5-4 and challenging the Jacksonville Jaguars who had a stinker of a game yesterday against
Niners.
The Niners. So, hey, these guys are playing good, man. And CJ Stroud, they are still getting the comparisons. Oh, if the Carolina Panthers should have took him. Listen, if CJ Stroud is in a situation with Bryce Young, he would be in the same pickle.
Going to me and you probably.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So, Carolina's just bad. They don't have talent.
Anything.
And that's just what it is, and it's gonna be a long process until they can get stuff fixed.
And firing Frank Wright ain't the.
Yeah, we got to stop this too, man. This thing of just we just gonna fire coaches. This shit it's got to stop too, man. You got to give at least back in the day it was at least 3 year. 3 years. You got 3-4 years the max to show something before we start talking about going in another direction. But you got to give these guys a chance.
The Carolina thing is all about them mortgaging the farm to get a pick. To get a pick that they could have got if they stood pat. So now they're complete ass this year, 1-8, and guess where that draft
with no players.
Where's that draft pick going to help them?
To the
Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, they got nothing.
So that's on ownership.
And this is what I be talking about when you go ahead and sell the farm. Sometimes, man, stay put and weather the storm. It's okay, man. Sometimes you're going to have to lose in order to get better. Look at this team that I'm wearing.
Sorry, bro.
You gotta lose sometimes, man. So it's all good, man. But shout out to the Houston Texans, man. They playing well, man, and they got a chance to at least for that division for the AFC South. So
go ahead.
Kudos to them.
What you got? Somebody's breaking that mic real bad. Somebody help me out. Mike, thank you. Feel it. Go ahead.
This was a very entertaining game. Back and forth. Houston may be the Detroit Lions of this year from what they did last year. They building, like they said, D'Amico Ryans wasn't that sexy pick, but if you're trying to win, you're going to bring guys in that have won elsewhere. This dude was a homer. He played in Houston. So I guess they wanted to bring back that familiar that word I tried to say right there. But anyway.
Yeah, you did.
But man, and let's just call it what it is. Cincinnati is a very potent offensive team, but defense, they are just as suspect as 20 other teams in this league, and it showed. Noah Brown, I've seen this man's jersey, the back of his jersey, more times than any other receiver in the league yesterday. He was open all game long. He had 8 targets, 7 catches for $172. I cannot believe he didn't make the end zone, but it is what it is, man. This team is trending in the right direction. I don't think that they'll make the playoffs because I really feel like them 4 teams out of the NFC North is going to. I mean, maybe now that they beat Cincinnati, I don't know. It's still early. They're way ahead of schedule. That doesn't mean that they can't get it done, and I think they're proving that. And the Jacksonville loss just opened the door wide open for that division. So,
Yeah.
I think Cincinnati, and again, if Boyd would have caught that touchdown, we would have been talking about this in a totally different light.
Right.
But he dropped it,
He dropped it.
and and Stroud and the boys got to win.
Hit the ground. Ball hit the ground.
I mean, I think Boyd is probably the oldest receiver on that team as far as going back from.
You look like the oldest man in that stadium in that game.
Yeah, So I'm actually surprised that he's still there. But after that crucial drop yesterday, yeah, his clock is ticking.
What?
Yo, did he get hurt yesterday?
No. His heart hurt.
His feelings, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I thought he got hurt. No, it's T Higgins is out.
Yes.
T Higgins. I'm sorry.
Boy didn't even have cleats before the game started. They called him.
I heard the Cincinnati Bengals unfollowed him on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I was about to say.
They not unfollow him, boy. That dude's so old. He ain't even got Twitter. He got MySpace.
Nope. Let me go to the next game. Green Bay Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers was able to pull this game out 20-19. Very good game. The Steelers are 6-3. Packers 3-6. From the AP, Najee Harris stopped paying attention to the circumstances long ago. Maybe because that almost never changed for the Steelers. It's going to get tight. It's going to get late, and Pittsburgh is going to some way find a way. Even when the Steelers were outgained, which is always, at least in 2023, even when which is frequently, even when the only place they regularly look like a team in playoff contention is the stanchion, which is essentially the story of the first half of the season that is somehow both chaotic, utterly predictable, and at the same time. Now, this is written by the AP, and I kind of agree with this statement. I said to Dan yesterday, I was joking with Dan, and Dan, of course, do bet the proverbial look at your team, I'm like, Dan, whatever, man. But the Steelers, to me, they're like a sneaky 6-3. Their coordinator is under fire everywhere he goes in the city of Pittsburgh.
Stinky. Stinky? Is that a sports term? There's stinky.
Sneaky, stinky.
You said stinky. Stinky or slinky. Both work. Both are the same. They can both be stinky.
Dan, take it away, man. What's your thoughts on your Steelers being 6-3, getting that win yesterday?
It's ugly, but it's a dub. I think, what is it? Since this is the first team since 1939 to be outgained every single game.
I heard that yesterday. Yes,
and have a winning record. To all those haters, But anyway, they the last 2 games, like our man who won't be mentioned, he's actually been on the sidelines the last 2 games calling the offensive plays.
Canada.
Yep. But
take them out of the booth. They want you standing right next to the players, so when it goes wrong, they can curse his ass out. He's right there.
Hold him accountable. But that's the 2 highest rushing games for us in probably the last year. Is the 2 that he's been on the sideline, and like Kenny's not doing anything spectacular, but they've decided that we're going to run the football. And now they got Broderick Jones, their draft choice from Georgia, the guard or the tackle. They got him playing. They've been running over teams, and that's the way it's going to be. We're going to run the ball, and we've scored twice. The last 2 games, we've scored the opening drive. That hasn't happened in 3 years. So I don't know, what's going on. What Canada's doing. With the Gatorade, but they're actually coming out and scoring, opening drives, getting ahead where we're not throwing the ball 1,000 times a game. So it's working. And
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
My thing is we got a good enough defense. They just got to figure out how to shore up that secondary. I know we're banged up with injuries and whatnot. Hopefully, Mika gets back soon, but they're still getting the turnovers, still getting the sacks. They're still holding teams to minimal amount of points, and that's the key. It's got to be 20 points or less. We got to hold teams to have a possibility to win games. And look, you could have 1,000 yards if you got 3 points. That's all that matters.
True.
So being outgained or whatever, it's a matter of putting points on the board when you get the opportunities, and that's what they've been doing. So, hey, everybody and their brother picked us to be the bottom of this division. So where we're at right now, like you think about the quarterbacks that are in our division, and we were picked to be last. We're not.
Oh, except I didn't pick y'all to be last.
No, I'm saying the 4-letter networks, big heads.
Gotcha.
Everybody that knows their stuff.
They supposedly right.
With their 100 producers, and we only got one. Shout out to our producers. Go
ahead. Not like us. Fans that fight for our teams and fight for the fans. That actually pay attention to what's going on. But that's what I'm saying. It is what it is, and that's what this year is going to be. And it's a matter of put the chin strap on, buckle them up, let's go, and we'll let you get yards up and down the field, but we're going to try to limit the amount of points you get.
You don't score. Listen, Dan. Man, you know what Canada's doing? He's just being smart, man. We've been saying this, man, for a long time. Listen, run the ball more, pass less, keep the ball out of their hands. It's not hard to win that way. That's all. Offensive linemen.
At the beginning.
But this is the thing. For offensive linemen, it's easier to block going forward, which is run blocking, than it is to block going backwards, which is pass blocking. If you put those big young boys into run blocking positions and move the man in front of you 2 or 3 yards, it's up to the running back after 2 or 3 yards to get the rest, then you're fine. Don't make them drop back.
D has frozen. Or did I freeze?
Did we lose him?
I think we lost D.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, we might have lost D. I don't know what's going on with these stuff right here. We'll circle. Go ahead.
But hold on, before we go from Pittsburgh, I'm just looking at their next 8 games. And Pittsburgh, I mean, they got out of the 8, they got 3 divisional. So they got 2 with the Bengals. This week with the Browns. So I mean, they got the next 8. They got the Browns, Bengals, Cardinals should be a win. Patriots should be a win. Colts, I'll give them that. Bengals again. Seahawks at the Seahawks and at the Ravens. So I mean, they got a tough way to see if they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Let me move on to the next game. The Detroit Lions, my adopted team from last year. Yo, man, the Lions are 7-2. The Lions, shout out to the coach, man, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, talk about aggressive football play. It might hurt him, but he's going for it on 4th down like all the time. From the AP, Dan Campbell wants to make sure his team has the ball until the last second, even if it meant passing up a chance to take the lead with 1:47 remaining. And the score is still tied at 38, all against the Chargers on Sunday. The Detroit Lions coach went for it on 4th and 2 from LA's 26-yard line. A field goal would have given Herbert and the Chargers a chance to win or send the game to overtime. Jared Goff made the move, pay off with a 6-yard completion to rookie tight end Sam Laporta. Goff then kneeled down 3 times. Riley Patterson kicked a 41-yard field goal at the time expired, and the Lions prevailed 41-38. Like I said, did we lose somebody else? Like I said, this has absolutely, the Lions, they was moving in the right direction last year, and now they're with being at 7-2. Shout out to the Lions. What you got on the Lions?
Yo, man, I really was shocked. Usually when teams, even though Detroit is not an East Coast team, but usually when teams go out west or they go out east, they have this slip up. Yo, man, shout out to this offense of Detroit, man. Again, well balanced. You had 200 yards on the ground. You had 333 in the air. I know DA said, when you score 38 points, when you score over 30 points, you should win the game. But this is the Clippers. I mean, I'm sorry, this is the Chargers. So this is what happens, man.
They owe Harden, by the way.
Yeah, they suck too, man.
Trash. But this team is on paper at least. And I know this is D-Dub's old sexy pick from last year, but this team is better than this, okay? But they're not being coached properly. Look at Dan Campbell. Look at the confidence that this man has. People say, oh, why would you do that? This and that, the third. This is what this man has been doing for how long? Mm-hmm. So he has total confidence. He still tries to jumpstart his team with overconfidence and let them, hey, go ahead, do what you do. And Jared Goff was Jared Goff and not Jared Stafford yesterday. So what can we say? He didn't turn the ball over. It was
2 TDs.
Yeah, I mean, man, what was it? 23 or 33?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I mean, what can you say, man? I mean, again, Detroit has taken this division head and shoulders. I know Minnesota is surging. Minnesota does not have enough for this team. I'm sorry. This is the number 3 team in the NFC, in my opinion, behind Philly and San Fran. People, San Fran had their little shakeup or whatever, but we've seen this the last few years. They'll do a trade. It'll invigorate some new excitement in the team, and they start bulldozing teams. So, my opinion, I don't care what people say about Dallas. Everybody's ranting and raving about Dallas. Come on, son. They beat up on the Giants. No disrespect, but they beat up on the Giants, and now everybody's
untaken. We suck.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
This Detroit team went out west and beat. I'm about to say the Clippers again. Beat the Chargers on their home turf. And to me, I know a lot of people don't see road games as clear-cut victories, but you have to be different to win on the road, and that's something that Detroit is still learning, and they're doing it this year. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Gotcha. D-Dub, what you got?
Yo, first of all, Dan Campbell, I appreciate him, man. I think this is a good feel-good story for him. Getting his Lion team, you seen him the bubbling, and he was cooking last year, and to see that the team is everybody's playing well. They lost they lost 2 running backs and replaced those 2 with Montgomery.
Stay with the coach, right?
Huh?
What happens when you stay with continuity?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they sucked in the beginning. What is this? His 3rd year now?
Yeah.
So now he's starting. He's getting his own players in. He's turning things around.
But you gotta be there. You gotta stay there. I mean, it's like anything else, man. You can't just be in and out and then you expect greatness, man. It doesn't work like that. Of course, there's an exception to the rules for certain times, but for the most part, you gotta stay the course. And shout outs to the Lions. Good game. This was a good game, back and forth. 41-38. Shout outs to the Chargers again, and Eric alluded to it. They not having a good coaching staff, man. Staley has not been. I say it like this: a lot of people have been wanting to see him go. And this might be it because they got a hell of a quarterback.
Okay, so get it done.
Got a hell of a defense, and they just can't get it done. And things got to change in Los Angeles in order for them to see their way through this thing, get to where they need to get to. Because right now, this team is underachieving, and they should be doing a whole lot better than what they're doing. But hey, shout outs to the Lions, 7-2, man. They have. I wish we had the stat people here. I mean, when was the last time that I can remember that the Lions was going into almost a week away from Thanksgiving with the winning record? It's been a while.
And on Thanksgiving Day,
to
watch.
It's something. Yes, something to watch.
It's not a filler.
It's just not like the game is on and you getting food.
Yeah, I need
not paying attention.
That's a whole nother thing because some people they don't start eating.
Well, whatever. But that yeah, you feel me? It's like, yo, this is great, man. This is great. I mean, as long as I know the Lions to be playing, man, they always sucked on Thanksgiving, and for this time around, them playing this well, this late into the season, um, it's a real good story, man. Shout outs to the Lions, Detroit Lions. What up, though?
Yep. Appreciate that. Let's move to the last game here. And I just had it. Just having Washington, the Commanders, and the Seattle Seahawks here. I'm sorry, I had to pull it up there. There you go. I think I have it right here. The Seahawks defeated the Commanders. Very well played game. Seattle 6-3. Commanders up 4-6. Geno Smith throws the Jason Myers walk-off field goal, lifts the Seahawks sit past the Commanders 29-26. Let me read from the AP, given the opportunity for some more heroics. In the closing minutes of the fourth quarter, Geno Smith was nearly flawless. Not once, but twice he helped the Seahawks to victory that kept them atop the NFC West. Smith led a pair of scoring drives late in the fourth quarter, the second leading to Jason Myers' 43-yard field goal as time expired. Smith and Washington's quarterback Sam Howell traded big throws and touchdown passes in the closing minutes, but it was Smith who had the final chance at the victory and came through. Let me tell you something. Sam Howell, he's a quarterback. He can play, man. He can play.
Definitely.
He 29 for 44 yesterday. He threw a lot, 312 yards, 3 TDs. Washington didn't run the ball much yesterday, but he can toss that rock around the yard. Geno Smith was just as good. 31 for 47, 369, 2 TDs, no interceptions. Walker for Seattle ran the ball 19 of 63, and Carbonos was 6 of 44. His longest was 9 yards. I'll pass it to D. Well, I'll say this first about Seattle. And when I read and when I was looking, I said, wow, they're in first place in the NFC West. Just think about it. Everybody's picking the Niners. Say about the other LA team, the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Cough.
And look, they just Pete Carroll just steady, just keeps on. And again, another feel good story. Geno Smith, man, who's been on some bad Jets and Giant teams, and now he's getting an opportunity to play where he's got some quarterback and some, he's got some coaching, he's got some players with him, and he's able to shine and is able to do his thing. I'll give it to DW. Your thoughts?
Yeah, shout out to Geno Smith, man. I mean, being able, man, he threw a pass to what's his name, Metcalf, man. I mean, and Metcalf was just, that's how they got down there to be able to kick the field goal. I mean, what can you say, man? Geno Smith has been able to just, he's been placed in some bad situations with some bad teams. Lord knows there's been some bad teams, and and not giving up on himself, starting from last year when he got the opportunity to start, and to this year to now, and it was a good game, man. And look at them now. You got the Seattle Seahawks tied with the San Francisco 49ers at the top of the division. So a lot of people, we didn't see that, saying not like that.
Nope.
But Seattle was playing well. And shout outs to the Commanders. They hung around. Sam Howell, you got nothing to hold your head down about. You're a good quarterback in this league, man. I mean, the numbers speaks for itself. So Washington got a lot of other things going on that they need to address, but they played hard. I don't think there's nothing to be embarrassed about with them. They'll be back. It's just a couple of things, some things that needs to be addressed. They're 4-6. They're not going to win the division, or go to the playoffs, but they got stuff to build off on and take a look at some certain things. So I think they'll be all right later on. So, but with Seattle, they got the Rams, the Niners. They got big games coming up. They're at the Cowboys, at the 49ers. So it's going to start to get a little bit rough for them here in the next couple of games.
True indeed.
Yeah, next Man, they got they got the Rams, Niners, Cowboys, Niners, Eagles. Yeah, this. We'll see what they're about.
About to get rough.
It's about to get rough. Yes.
E, what you got before we get out of here?